This week on Redbeard's Overthunk Junk, man, making progress. Hey guys, Redbeard here. Look, I've been working on a lot of stuff. Haven't had a lot of video footage. To be honest with you, I've been struggling quite a bit trying to get this all figured out. I've been piecing together this gantry since last January or so. Anyway, got my winches all straightened out. They were pulling crooked. I unspooled it, respooled it the other way. Now they're both working. We're not getting that twist. Anyway, I'm going to show you that here in just a second. But we do have the ram charger completely stripped down. If anybody's in the market for dirt daubers, I have plenty of dirt daubers. Anyway, guys, the frame is it's actually solid. It's in good shape. What I'm going to be using it for is a cradle to park the body down on. I don't want to leave it hanging all the time. And I'm going to be using this to mock up my new chassis. So I got quite a bit going on. We're heading down to Arkansas shortly. I got a trip to Houston next week. As soon as I come back from that, we head down there. So hopefully we'll have the shop put together, at least the shell, while we're in Arkansas. That's the goal, right? So this is kind of going to be back burner till New Year's. I'm going to get a little bit more done, but I got some work to do on the other rigs to get ready for the trip. But what I was trying to do was get the tub suspended. I started working on that 2 days ago, and I could not get the back end to pick up right. I'll kind of walk you around in a minute and show you what I ended up having to do with that. But this is all stripped. It's going to be for mock-up only. I do need to pull the cylinder head off my father-in-law. He wants to see what the engine looks like inside. She's never been apart. 392, I think, 1,000 miles on it. And so I'm going to tear into a few things, just see what she looks like, right? 727 is a pretty fresh rebuild. If anybody's in the market for one, I got one. Rest of the rig, once the chassis is built, man, I got no use for it. So if anybody's looking for a Ram Charger, two-wheel drive Ram Charger chassis that's clean and straight, I got you one. But in all seriousness, it's probably headed to the scrap when I get done building a new chassis for it. So I'm going to turn the camera here and let's take a look at what's going on over here on the other side. So what we got going on here, I got a pair of 4,500-pound winches mounted, inverted. We lifted the hoist all the way up. We failed to loosen the cable clamps, so when we lifted the hoist, we pulled the power wires out. That was nice. Always a little something extra, you know. Nothing ever goes quite as planned. But here's all the front firewall. It's in good shape. This is interesting. So all the components are oozing out their insulation. All that's going away. Brake booster's going. We're going to redo everything. Probably do a classic car AC kit. Get rid of that off of there too. Maybe just a more compact blower setup. I don't know which way we're going to go. We got time. But anyway, guys. Right now, I am using ratchet straps. I don't know that it's going to stay on ratchet straps, but I needed to get it up, and this worked. So I got a couple of soft shackles for the pivot points. Ratchet straps run up. I did damage the trim on the wheel wells, trying to pick it up the first couple times. I think the sheet metal is good behind it. I don't think we actually damaged the fender, just the trim, which the trim's getting, if it goes back on, it's going to be black anyway. So not really worried about that. Ended up using a big piece of unistrut to make like a strong back across the body mounts under the wheel wells. And I think that, that definitely picked it up straighter. So we'll get this fine-tuned a little bit. But the good news is it works. And let me grab the remotes here. And I do have a pair of remotes. So let's see. Oh, there we go. Lowering that side. Lowering that side. And so I do have full control of the lowering and raising it. Now, what I liked about that over like chain falls or something is I don't have to worry about hitting the windows and working down here over the winter by myself quite a bit. It's just going to make it a lot easier. Now, do I trust this enough to like sleep underneath it? Probably not. But we are well under the rating for the gantry. Yeah, I'm using ATV winches, 4,500-pound ATV winches for hoist. If I was lifting 3 tons, probably wouldn't do it. I reckon this tub it might be 800 pounds. I think that's probably being generous. I think it's probably less than that. But anyway, guys, I got it set up where I can roll the chassis back in here. Waffles doesn't have to sleep in the cold, and everything's indoors this way. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. Hopefully get some more stuff done, and we'll get a video. Thanks. Hey, guys, Redbeard here. It's getting close to Christmas. I don't know if you can tell or not. Anyway, look, we're working on Betty. Just going to do the oil change and replace all the headlights. I've got these aftermarket headlights in there. They were a better deal than buying factory replacements after smacking another deer. Luckily, I had the brush guard on for the second one. We smoked it at about nearly 80 on the interstate with the razor in the rack on top of the truck and the Sammy Mog on the aluminum trailer. And I believe the head went through the brush guard. Now, we never found the rest of the deer. We never found the head. It was gone. But anyway, pretty good impact. Bumper held. Very happy with these moved bumpers. I did some modifications beyond the kit. But for 5 years old already, she's holding up. So the other thing I had was I've got this aftermarket grill in here. Again, I liked it. But it had these three yellow lights in the front, okay? Like running lights. This is my flying pig. Anyway, one of them had quit working. And this little LED right here had gone bad. So I had some little LED button lights. I cannibalized one of them, pulled the guts out of it, resealed it in there, heat taped it, resealed it up. I didn't want to come apart, and got it mounted back in there. So the center light will be a little bit different, but at least it'll be on. I think it'll be better than not having any of them on. The whole grill's only like $90. I mean, I could just replace it again. But I've got other plans for Betty after we get moved. I've got a lot more going on. So we got our Delvac up here. Got a good deal on it at Sam's. Anyway, what's cool about it, it's got this new vent lid. So you just punch the hole and rotate that to keep the dirt out. I like that a lot better than just stabbing a screwdriver through it. So that's kind of cool. Keep your eye out for that. The other thing we've been working on is old waffles. So everybody see the waffles here? I had to put an aftermarket O2 sensor in it. Our O2 sensor was bad. And, can we see it? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, trust me, it's in there. But one of the things we've been struggling with on waffles is she's running really rich, eating spark plugs. I mean, eating a lot of spark plugs, right? Romp on it a few times, it'll clear up. And it's just running extremely rich at idle. Now, one of the things I screwed up on, so I did the engine swap. I never hooked up the factory temp sensor again because I was doing an aftermarket dash and I ran my own. Well, part of the problem with that is, I believe with that open loop, it's reading high temp, and so it's probably overfueling on startup. So I MacGyvered, kind of trail fixed it, and got that wired back in. The tab broke off on me. That's why I never hooked it up. The tab was broke when I got it. So anyway, I hooked that up. My idle dropped like 300 RPMs. It's idling at 850 now, 900. A lot better. Reset the timing back to 10 degrees. I'm running the wrong plugs right now. I thought I found a deal on some plugs. I did. Way better price for some EKGs. But the body was the wrong size, and due to the overhead cam and going through the valve covers, I couldn't get on it. So, got spare plugs. They'll fit like a 8-valve or a Samurai engine, but they won't fit this. And anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. This is running a lot better, a lot better. So, I think from the very beginning, this thing's been running, well, it's been running rich since day one. And we did notice the problems got a lot worse as the weather cooled off. So got to thinking about it. Talking to my good buddy Stephen Crittenden. He knows more about these Samurai, these 1.6s than I ever care to know. And he's thinking that we may be overfueling still. Now, I did hook up a pressure gauge. And I'm showing it consistent like 38 pounds, 39 pounds running. And the regulator does work. You hit the throttle, you can see the pressure jump, and it corrects itself. So I don't believe we have a problem with the pressure regulator on the rail, but it's still maybe a touch high. Steven's recommending trying to get that pressure down around 30, 32. He thinks that's going to run a lot better. So I'm looking at some options, either throw a fuel pump in and hope it gets me to the right pressure, but if that's where the regulator is working at, that's not going to help. So I think what I'm going to do is put an inline regulator on the inlet side of the fuel, set the pressure there, and we'll just see if that is able to maintain how that does. It's pretty reasonable price to do that, and man, I think that's where I'm going to go. And I'll just tee the bypass on the regulator back over to the return line to the tank. Everything should be happy. So that's kind of where we're at. Waffles is running better, so that's good, because I got to tell you, I'm really tired of working on her. We did get uh, the SUV 10. I guess that's going to be its official name. We got it lowered down off the hoist. I got some blocks of woods on the frame that body's actually resting on. So that actually worked pretty well. I'm actually happy. I've been planning this, using this hoist mechanism for a while now. Originally, I thought about bending tube and doing a 4-corner, almost like a boat lift, right? Like a double saddle to lift it up and down. But that was going to be permanent into the shop, because I was going to have to build the structure and attach it into the rafters, and we couldn't move it once I built it. And so I bought this stupid Harbor Freight gantry. I shouldn't say stupid. I mean, it works really good. I don't know why they couldn't have made it a few inches wider, where a dually would actually back under it, but you can't. So you can't offload a full-size trailer. You can't do much of anything with it except for what I'm doing with it. It worked great for engine hoisting and whatnot. I think this thing's future home is probably going to be over top the plasma table at the new shop. I think it'll work just fine for slinging full sheets of steel up there until I get my forklift. So that's kind of where we're at. I'll probably get some of them big magnets, right, and pick it up, set it on there. I guess with the dual winches, man, it's really not bad to pick up and down. And I could probably drop back to a single winch once I get to that point and put it on a trolley. I didn't want to do that here because I was worried about headroom. Lifting that tub up, I didn't want that trolley mechanism. I didn't want to lose that 5-6 inches, right? So I did this flush mount anyway, without destroying the rail, so I still can go back to the other method if I choose to. So look, guys, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm working on. I got to get this oil changed. I ordered new headlights. Man, I thought I ordered the wrong ones. Turns out these are a 4-bulb housing, not a 2-bulb, like the factories. So it's no big deal. I got the high beams. The low beams are in the mail. They should be here today. So anyway, hopefully get all that put together, and we'll do some shorts, a little wrap up later. But guys, have a great weekend. Hope your projects are going better than mine, and we'll catch up with you.